Hi guys, so Keone here. We're going to be talking about a leader that I found a lot of inspiration from going into and trying to pursue a career in editorial. And her name's Elaine Welteroth. So I'm using visuals to help me out here. So basically, we're going to be talking about what makes her a good leader. But before we get to that, I just want to briefly go over who she is if you don't know her already. Her name is, as I said before, Elaine Welteroth. Excuse me. She's the former editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, which is under Condé Nast. And if you didn't know, Condé Nast includes magazines like Allure, The New Yorker, and of course Vogue. So basically, Teen Vogue is just like a magazine, like a typical teen magazine, teen young adult magazine, that includes articles on lifestyle, on clothing, on hair, generally a lot of style, but also there are articles that they include about taking care of yourself, just politics, things that they feel that teens could relate to and really resonate with. And I think Teen Vogue definitely does a good job with that. It has since moved from physical publications to digital publications, so there you're really not going to see any physical copies of this magazine anymore, but it's still really popular online. And in my opinion, it's my favorite. Compared to other teen, young adult demographic magazines such as like Cosmo Girl, I think, which ended a while ago, and 17, which is still running, is still really strong. But yeah, so anyways, so what is so great about Elaine Welteroth? What makes her a good leader? So there are three things I think make her a really great leader, at least really inspire people who are trying to pursue this career. So she's, first of all, really enthusiastic. She really knew what she wanted, and she decided to go out and get it. At age 21, she moved to New York City, got an internship at Ebony, and just moved up the ladder from to Glamour, and then eventually to Teen Vogue as the second black editor in chief under Condé Nast. That was really important, and it's also important that she also took reign of the magazine during a period of time which there was a lot of transitioning going on. There was a lot of changes going on in the journalism industry and in the editorial industry. You know, there was more interest in a digital platform, and she still took on the reins of, trying to keep the magazine stable. So I think that's really important that she kept a very positive outlook on the industry, and she felt like she had a lot to contribute to the magazine and to Condé Nast. So I think that was really great. So really enthusiastic, smiley face. So I really respect that. I feel like it's very difficult to stay positive, and not even just the editorial industry, which is very high pressure, very a lot of stress, but just any industry. I feel like a lot of millennials specifically kind of have like a negative outlook on just getting a job or going into in our industries. Like we're kind of raised to be dreamers, and the older that we get, we become less and less positive about our jobs and what we want to do in the future. Maybe we have to change our minds because of what family says or what just the job outlook looks like. But Elaine Welteroth clearly proves a point in her career choices and her decisions. So another aspect of her that makes her a good leader is her vision setting. So she's got good vision, and she's got good setting. So basically, she motivated and promoted a particular idea or aspect that she wanted for the magazine when she took reign. And I think that's really great. She knew exactly what she wanted to do with the magazine, which made it stand out compared to 17 or Cosmo Girl, made it survive. She decided to focus more, which is going to go into the last aspect of her good leadership skills or competencies. She knew that she wanted to focus on, well, not focus on, but she wanted to emphasize the importance of politics in these Teen Vogue articles, or maybe not political, but more controversial articles that you wouldn't necessarily find emphasized in like a 17 magazine. So like these magazines will also cover like celebrity news and stuff, but I felt like Teen Vogue's strongest aspect was its articles about things such as like college sexual harassment, or just the political atmosphere, just in general. I think that, when Elaine Welter Roth took over, she recognized that, yes, these are things that are important to women who are going to be our future, who are going to be enthusiastic, or maybe be more encouraged to speak out about certain things depending on the content that they consume or take in as young women, as young adults. And that's really important to me. I feel like that's something that I'm going to be taking in when I'm also working in the editorial industry. So, also, last aspect I'm going to talk about is her sense of diversity and intercultural orientation. So basically, when Elaine Welter Roth took over, and Teen Vogue was already pretty like diverse. Like they'd have like models on the covers every once in a while who are or groups of models or individuals who were different. But I think ever since Elaine Welter Roth specifically took over, you got to see a lot more diversity. You got to see a lot more inclusion. So I actually have 3 covers right here, kind of prove that point. So this is Amanda Sternberg. She's from Hunger Games. Troye Sivan. It's a guy, even though this is like Teen Vogue, usually girls read this, but he's a singer. I love his song Fools. It's really good. And then Fernanda Lee, she's like a model. She's Asian. So if just like looking at these magazine covers, excuse me, they're very diverse. They're very inclusive. It's not just like race. It's also, class, origins, sexual orientation, and gender, of course. Elaine Welter Roth recognized that being inclusive is important, especially to women who are growing up, like not necessarily identifying with the norm, or not even women, just men or just individuals in general, maybe not identifying with the norm. She recognized that it's important to be inclusive and to work efficiently and effectively with others who are different from her. Even though she's Black, she's not just emphasizing certain races or cultures. She's including everybody, and everybody who she feels has something to educate or teach or influence positively on these young readers. And I really appreciate and respect that. And I think that it was really recognized a lot online. I feel like they got a lot more viewership. I felt like they got a lot more respect as a magazine because of their decision to be even more inclusive and be more open about not even just who they put on these articles, but also who they decide to talk about, who they decide to interview. They're not just interviewing any like actress or model. They want to talk to people who they feel like have something very important to say, and that they know their readers would love to hear from. So I felt that was really important. So basically, Elaine Welter Roth, she isn't the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue anymore, but she still definitely had an influence on Teen Vogue, not just Teen Vogue actually, but just editorial in general, in my opinion. Because of her, I definitely feel like I actually got more into like reading political articles, and besides like celebrity news and stuff, which is what I used to read a lot. And I became more proactive, I think, in making decisions about my life and being more proactive, or just actively listening and engaging with the political atmosphere and having a say or having an opinion on things just in general. I feel like because of her, because of the articles that were running because of her, and also the covers and interviews and whatnot, I became more of just a more engaged individual. So I really respect that. I really appreciate that. And you could really tell just from these 3 aspects, diversity, intercultural orientation, enthusiasm, and vision setting, that Elaine Welter Roth is a good leader. So definitely check her out. She's no longer editor-in-chief, but she has a really awesome Instagram. Pretty sure it's under the same name, Elaine Welter Roth. And she's cameoed on Blackish, which is a really awesome show. And she's co-wrote for Grownish, which is the spinoff. So definitely check her out. Definitely read Teen Vogue articles. I think they're awesome. So, see ya.